It was Inauguration Night, 2001, and as George W. Bush waltzed with the First Lady, the attacks of 9/11 were still months away. The war on terror, not yet a twinkle in his speechwriter's eye. But on day one of his presidency, there was another plan about to unfold, one that many believe he's handled even worse than Iraq, and where so much more may be at stake. That first afternoon, George Bush ordered the cancellation of a dozen federal measures intended to protect the land, air, and water. Global warming alarms were sounding, but in Washington, things were looking up for those who see climate change as a greater threat to the American way of life than to the environment. And it was just the beginning. February, Bush appoints Vice President and former oil executive Dick Cheney to head a secret energy task force. March, Bush pulls the U.S. out of the Kyoto Agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. April, Bush breaks a campaign promise to limit emissions from coal-burning power plants. And then there was Frank Luntz.
I focus on words, I focus on language, I focus on how to communicate the principles that you believe in. You're going to use these to register whether you agree or disagree.
A number of things that are available.
Climbing, changing fuels. Watch, this will work.
A political pollster, Luntz became a guru of the Republican Party with his revolutionary theories about language strategy.
Look at this. He's now up into the mid to upper 70s with that. Hold it, stop.
Measuring emotional responses to words and phrases to find the precise triggers to sell an idea. As concern about climate change grew, Luntz produced a 16-page document intended to help skeptics capitalize on what he called a lack of scientific certainty in the global warming debate.
It was written for the energy community, it was written for the business community, it was written basically for general consumption among those who at that time challenged the science of global warming.
Before long, the Bush White House adopted Frank Luntz's memo as its unofficial global warming playbook. Luntz rule number 1, never use the term global warming.
Now, global climate change presents a different set of challenges.
Global warming suggests something more cataclysmic. Climate change suggests something more gradual, something that takes place over time. Global warming is more frightening. Climate change is less so.
Rule number 2, never call yourself an environmentalist.
We all want to be good stewards of our environment. We want to be good conservationists.
An environmentalist is a radical. A conservationist is a realist.
Underlying it all was a simple concept. The public can't understand the complex science of climate change, he argued, so convince them that scientists don't fully comprehend it yet either. Then persuade them that without sound science, it makes no sense to take preventive action at a huge economic cost.
I wanted to challenge it until we knew absolutely for sure, because let's face it, if you start to change emissions in cars, if you start to change the way energy policy is done, it's going to be very expensive for consumers. It's going to involve a lot of regulation, a lot of red tape, and a lot of cost. So you better know absolutely that this is a problem, and it is the car and the energy company and the business that's causing it before you punish them.
From Luntz's lips to the president's ears, that advice became George W. Bush's mantra. The science isn't conclusive. The costs of prevention are too high. So let's rely on American know-how and technology to figure it all out later.
When we make decisions, we want to make sure we do so on sound science. Not what sounds good, but what is real.